Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Biblical Victor Podcast. I am your host, Victor, aka Victor the Inspiration, and today we are going to be talking about Matthew 26:41, and we will be utilizing ChatGPT as our co-host. And I'm trying something a little bit different with this style of content. So if you're familiar with my content, you know I usually show my screen and do something like that, but I want to try something a little bit different and kind of just keep it like this with this camera angle and just have ChatGPT voice in the background. ChatGPT, can you briefly and formally introduce yourself before we start talking about Matthew 26:41?
Hey everyone, I'm thrilled to be here. I'm ChatGPT, your AI co host, and while I'm just a voice, I'm here to offer insight, clarity, and maybe a bit of perspective as we dive into today's scripture. Let's explore Matthew 26:41 together.
Let's get right into it. This is one of the most creative ideas I've had to utilize AI and artificial intelligence, ChatGPT voice, utilizing a co-host, so it's not just me talking. And let me know what you guys think about this too as well. So let's get right into it. It says Matthew 26:41, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. ChatGPT, let's dissect this and break this down for the audience listening.
Absolutely. This verse is a powerful call to both awareness and reliance. When it says watch, it's urging us to stay spiritually alert. Be mindful of what might lead us astray. Pray reminds us we can't rely on willpower alone, we need divine strength. The spirit being willing shows our inner desire to do right, but we all know that human weakness, our flesh, often pulls us off track. So Jesus is saying stay alert, lean on prayer, and be aware of both your strengths and vulnerabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. So it says, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. So, meaning be mindful and not reckless and careless with one's actions. And it says, the spirit is willing, meaning your spirit has the willpower to endure and persevere anything, but it is your flesh, the body, that is weak. So, you have to fight off that temptation. Now, what are some ways that the human body can endure and persevere?
It's amazing how much resilience we have. Physically, we can train our bodies. Think of athletes, soldiers, or those recovering from injury. Mentally, we adapt under stress, building grit through practice. Emotionally, we lean on relationships, faith, or purpose to get through hardships. Endurance often comes from that balance. We train, we lean on others, and we remind ourselves that our spirit can push us beyond what our body thinks is possible.
Yeah, definitely. So, for example, like me, when I have ammonia and collapsed lungs, which is something that I tend to deal with quite often because of my SMA and my low immune system, it makes it much harder to fight off diseases and infections. So what may come across as like a cough or flu to you is literally an ammonia, collapsed lungs, and a possible ICU visit in the hospital for a while. So where I'm going with this is, the body, the body can sometimes feel weak and it's hard to endure and persevere. But it is one's spirit, one's willpower that really gets us through these adversities and severest of storms. And the reason why I bring this up in the relevancy of today's verse is, it says, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. Temptation meaning, like fighting those mental negative discouragements and disappointments and ashayments, that often go on within. And I personally say defeat the enemy within, meaning, the self-doubts, the discouragements, the disappointments that go on within one's mind, right? I think that is something all of us can relate to some extent. But, it is the spirit that is willing to endure and persevere. And it's the body that is weak, where it makes us want to fall into our old habits and in our old cycles of repetitious negative behaviors. But it is our spirit that if we begin to work on and practice and strengthen, that is what will get us through these adversities, these storms of life.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that vulnerability. It's such a profound reminder that while the body may face real, painful limitations, like your experience with SMA or illnesses, our inner spirit, when nurtured, is capable of incredible perseverance. When we watch and pray, as the verse says, it's not just about avoiding temptation, but building that inner strength, fortifying the spirit. And with practice, that spirit can help us rise above even the toughest storms.
Definitely. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's verse. I'm trying something a little bit different with this styled content, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But I'm trying something slightly a little bit different with how I usually record, and I'm genuinely curious about if you guys like this style. I personally like it much better. But of course, let me know your guys' input. I always want to hear what you think is best and what you like most, and what you're most comfortable with. But yeah, I was trying something a little bit different with these few. I think this is my third, maybe fourth video that I recorded like this, third or fourth episode recorded like this. But let me know if you guys enjoyed it. So again, to close out today's episode, it's Matthew 26:41. It says, "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Before we close out today's video, I want to bring this up and throw this up on the screen. This is my book, Become the Victor, Turning Trials into Triumph. It is my own personal journey of living and navigating life with SMA type 2, navigating grief when I lost a very close aunt and a very close aunt of mine when I lost my grandmother, who was more like a second mother figure to me. And I navigating grief, navigating depression, anxiety, navigating my progressive disability, SMA type 2. And I talk about, the mental demons, I like to call them, where, the self-doubts, the discouragements, the disappointments that often creep up in one's mind. And I talk about how to defeat the enemy within. So this is my book, Become the Victor, Turning Trials into Triumph. And this book is genuinely meant for everybody. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. If you have a disability or not, this book is for you. If you are navigating depression, this book is for you. If you are navigating anxiety, this book is for you. If you are a psychology major or professor, this book is for you. It's literally structured in a way to benefit just about literally everyone. It's something that I personally wish I had, and which is why I personally wrote it and created it for you guys. So this is my book. It's currently available only online at Barnes & Noble's and Amazon's website. You can scan the QR code if you are watching this on your TV or anything. Or you can type in the book title, Become the Victor, Turning Trials into Triumph. Or you can simply type in Victor the Inspiration, again, online at Barnes & Noble's and Amazon's website. And you can come across my book. This is by far one of my the most vulnerable projects by far. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And as always, remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.